My name is Elizabeth Bartley. I was raised in the 1960s when we had a lot of free play outside, and I grew up in the Dr. Spock era. I guess a kind of constructivist approach to parenting where we were expected to be outside. Then came along television, media, and shows like Bewitched, which are still being shown on children's TV today, and children love them. So we grew up in a time of freedom and the introduction of television. And my first music experience was not at school. It was when I saw a box of percussion instruments such as these claves and the jingle bells at the top of the stairs on the landing in a big red plastic box. I picked up the sort of clackers, I call them, and felt a spiritual experience with the instrument and thought, wow, whatever I do to this instrument, I can make sound from. I had piano lessons which were paid. My arts experience was not until secondary school, cartooning by a famous illustrator from the Advertiser newspaper. Media was non-existent. We did dance in grade 7, the military two-step with boys who we didn't really want to dance with. I then came to secondary school where I was in a famous choir because I can sort of sing in tune, and we were in the choir that went interstate and overseas with songs that were of the Kodaly approach, which I love because of the syncopation of the rhythm, and they were fun. And music therapists use those songs and tunes from the Kodaly approach today. The Arts Intensive course was of a lot of the topics that I learned about here at McGill 40 years ago. The games like statues, and I was a music teacher, non-contact teacher with lots of classes, Arta 2, and we did a lot of work with percussion, and I thought I had a structure to the lesson. What I learned through the Arts Intensive was the inspirational teaching of the teachers, not so much the content, which I knew a lot about. I guess I didn't know much about the Australian curriculum before I started the Arts Intensive, so I've learned more about the strands and the sub-strands in all of these topics. The thing that I would come away with from the Arts Intensive was the structure that the music education teacher taught us: design, create, and display. The other major outcome from the Arts Intensive was that notion of using multimedia across all of the curriculum areas in the arts, and the way that you can use multimedia: photos, digital representations, animation. And then I looked at a friend of mine's husband by the name of Dr. Keith Armstrong's website, and he evoked his images of his passion about sustainability through the multimedia, and he's a masterclass teacher around the world. What I am good at is playing the piano and picking up an instrument and playing it, and using percussion instruments with the class. What I'm not so good at prior to the Arts Intensive was using multimedia and media. My confidence has been elevated since the Arts Intensive, and that is the end of the video.